Alrighty, what's going on guys? Ninja Star here, and today we are back at it again with a Dragon Ball video for you all. Now today's Dragon Ball video, we'll be discussing Dragon Ball Super and its endings. No, not the actual ending of the show itself, or the series endings. I already have a whole video about that. That's actually my previous video. Today we're going to be talking about the ending songs. What happened, basically what showed after you would finish the episode and right before you'd go into the preview. For Dragon Ball Super, a lot of its endings I really like, and a lot of them I'm kind of mixed about, but in this video I still want to see how it ranks among one another, and I want to hear your guys' input too, what's your ranking for the Dragon Ball Super endings. So without further ado, let's get right to it. Starting off at the bottom of my list at number 11, I have Ending 5, Yoka Yoka Dance. I didn't hate this as much as I originally did, like when it first came out, because it was played during the Trunks arc, and it was not fitting in the slightest. With the tone that the Trunks arc basically gave off to people, kind of this dark, also bringing it back to something that happened, reminiscing back to other stuff. Yoka Yoka Dance does not capitalize on that well. If this was, let's say, Super's first ending, I probably would have liked it more because it fits that tone. But even so, it's so out of place. I mean, the Goten and Trunks, it focuses on that, but they were barely in the arc to begin with. I mean, I guess even putting that aside and looking at it on its own, you can tell it does put a bit of emphasis onto Trunks and Super in general, and even then, it just doesn't, I feel like it just doesn't mesh well, honestly. I mean, the designs look fine. They are definitely one of the better shots from modern Yamamuro, but even then, there's not too much going on aside from a moving still image. You know, this ending is not great, not good. I mean, I don't hit it as much. What I will give is its visuals are nice, even though there's not much animation or whatever. Yeah, that's kind of just ending off Yoka Yoka Dance. Next up, we have something that's better, but not by much, also played in the same arc. We have Chao fan music, aka ending 6 of Dragon Ball Super. Ending 6 is yeah, it's better than Yoka Yoka Dance, but even then it's like, it's so weird. I'm all for silly stuff, and that's kind of the tone that this ending gives off, the silly mood that kind of just to have fun, you know, kind of after the Trunks arc. And I mean, for the 9 weeks apiece, I believe this was also played, it fits, but for the Trunks arc, like I said, which was still ongoing, it just doesn't work well. And the overall, like, even the lyrics, I know literal translations aren't gonna, I know stuff isn't always gonna translate over, but even then, it's just a matter of, it feels so unfitting for Dragon Ball. I mean, I get it, emphasis on food, I get it, emphasis on slice of life, but there's nothing much to it. I feel like this would be better as a Toriko ending rather than Dragon Ball, or let alone Dragon Ball Super. It just doesn't work well, and I don't know what they're trying to show here other than symbolizing food. It's a weird ending, but I do like it more than Yoka Yoka because it has a nice song. It is a nice song. Yoka Yoka, I wasn't too big on its song. I mean, the English version definitely is better, but even then, it's still at the bottom of my list. But next up, we have Lagrima, Dragon Ball Super's final ending, ending 11. I was awfully disappointed, given that this was Dragon Ball Super's last ending. I was hoping they could go off on a bang, especially considering we had ending 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically, all the endings in the Universal Survival Saga were great, and I was hoping ending 11 could wrap it up really well, but it was just kind of meh. I think that's the best way to describe it. The beginning part's really nice. It has like little blue involving Goku and Vegeta attaining their blue power and kind of breaking past their limits, the whole theme of the tournament power. I like that. Then it transitions to, what do you call it, the Z Fighters back on Earth. And then it goes into this weird, a majority of this, or not majority I should say, but a little sequence of just energy going up and then going to the tournament of power, traveling all around. I guess it's supposed to symbolize all the universes coming together, or maybe them being revived. I don't know, but I feel like that doesn't accomplish too much. It's not too impressive. I mean, I like the song personally, but that's about it. Its visuals definitely are lacking because this is very modern Yamamuro. The designs are so stiff. Don't even get me started on the last shot, which is just lazily done. I feel like this ending didn't have too much effort put into it, aside from, you know, the beginning parts, which are really nice. So then why is this above those other two? The beginning part's great. I can't stress that enough, and I do like the song more than the other two, and I guess the tone fits the Universal Survival arc better than the other two fit the Trunks arc, so that's kind of my reason why it's not at the bottom. And it kind of beats out those other two. Next up, we finally get into some more decent endings, and starting off at number 8, we have Dragon Ball Super Ending 1, Hello Hello. I didn't like this as much as I originally did. When I first saw it, I loved it, I adored it. Now I'm looking back, I'm like, yeah, it's solid. The whole point of it is to kind of play and show Goku's family and Goku's friends, and I think it fits the start of Super fairly well. My favorite sequence, I think most others, is when we see Goku's progression from a child to an adult, and even like those little glimpses of Goku and Gohan and Chi-Chi and Goten puts emphasis on Goku's family, and that's really heartfelt. This ending definitely has heart, and the last 30 seconds are just everyone getting together, and it's simple. That's one of the biggest pros, but it's also one of the cons because there's not much going for it, and it's not as impressive as the other ones I'm about to list. So I think it's great. It has a heart, and that's the big thing going for it. It's way better than those other three. Next up, we have Ending 2 of Dragon Ball Super. Ending 2 of Dragon Ball Super, I like it a lot more than other people do. Many people actually rank this below Hello, but I think it's a lot, it just feels... I mean, all the earlier Dragon Ball Super endings are very, very basic, but I feel this one at least tried to accomplish something more unique rather than just, your generic stuff. It had, like, the beginning parts, like, overall the song, I really, really, really like it. I think it fits the tone that they're going for, where it's just Goku being with his friends, Goku just kind of emphasizing on the slice of life, what these characters go through in their everyday lives, and I think that plays a very pivotal role in the early parts of Super, and like the slice of life stuff in general, and also has that little segment which I really love of the stars kind of just, starring star of, maybe to give you a bit of nostalgia, Goku looks back and then sees everyone's there, just, it's nice, it's also heartfelt, and the reason I put it above Hello is because I feel it stands out a lot more with its transitions. It flows really, really nicely. So next up, we have Ending 4 of Dragon Ball Super. Basically covered during the Universe 6 tournament, also known as Forever Dreaming. Ending 4 is fun. It's upbeat. It's definitely different than the other 3 Dragon Ball Super endings prior to it. This one is just overall fun, upbeat. You can tell by the rhythm of the song. You can tell by the lyrics. And it's simple too. Goku's literally just riding on a Nimbus, and he's reminiscing back to Super, essentially. And I think the placement of this was fairly solid at the end of the Universe 6 saga. Yeah, at the end of Universe 6 saga, because it doesn't even need to wrap up all of Z or Ball. It kind of just wraps up Battle of Gods, Res F, and beginning parts of this tournament to show how Goku's already come this far already, and how he's only going to keep going further as the story progresses. And that's the shot with him, going off with the Nimbus, and I like it. I mean, my biggest issue is you can tell again it's Yamamuro. I mean, what else can you say? Its design is very stiff and bland, but aside from that, I like it. Just it didn't need to be so nostalgic. It was able to kind of wrap up this point in Super fairly well. It kind of flashback reminisce to that, and I think it's fine. I think it has that reminiscent mood to it, if that makes sense. And the song's fun. The song is very, very fun. That's one reason why I like it so much. Next up, we start to get into the actually good tier, I guess. I'm not calling the other ones bad. I think they're decent. The bottom 3 are like meh/bad. The middle part is like decent, and this is where it actually gets good, and it's only gonna get better from here. Ending 7 of Dragon Ball Super is the next one on my rankings list. Ending 7 has easily the most unique style. I'm gonna say one of the most unique styles out of any Dragon Ball Super ending. I didn't even think of the manga panel idea. It's so simple, and it works. Honestly, it doesn't feel generic in the slightest. I think I don't see too many other endings do this. I think it was an interesting way of putting it. And overall, it also kind of tells a story of, the two Zenos, everything that's going on, kind of everything building up to the tournament, and it's nice. It flows really well. You can see both Universe 7 and U6. Doesn't put too much of an emphasis on other universes, but I think that's fine. Obviously this was during the beginning parts of the Universal Survival Saga, so we didn't know too much about the others. It kind of leads into the mystery. I think overall this is just so unique. The song's great too, and the lyrics are definitely very meaningful. I remember people try to make theories surrounding the lyrics, but even then, it's kind of told through the Omni King's perspective, but also kind of told through Grand Priest. It's told through all different perspectives, given how the lyrics are. And the overall, one of my favorite bits is just when they're in the manga panel, but then there's still like some animation going on, like Beerus and Champa are fighting, then everyone else around them gets scared. I think that's great. So I love the style of this. I love the unique aesthetic. Next up, we have Ending 8, Boogie Back. Ending 8 really tells a story. That's the big thing about it. You know, the previous one had the nice aesthetic, but this one really tells a story. It's important for these endings because you can have them be flashy and just fun and not have... You don't really need too much substance in them. You can just look cool or sound nice or whatever. But with endings like this, you can really tell they're going for some symbolism. They're trying to tell a story in what little time they have, and we're seeing it through Bulma's perspective. We can see even from shots like this and this that she's concerned. She's unsure of what's to come, but she's still trying to remain hopeful at the end of the day, which shows in the ending bits. And we can also see kind of the heartfelt side. These unique shot compositions are really nice because they give each Universe 7 member some time to shine right before the tournament. I think this is a great pre-tournament ending song, if that makes sense. It just kind of gets us ready to go. And, you know, I gotta give her credit there. Bulma really does tell a story through Bulma's eyes, and we don't get too many endings like this. I think this is, might be the only one where we actually really only see it through one's perspective. I think it worked. Next up, we have Dragon Ball Super Ending 3. Dragon Ball Super Ending 3 is great. This is, I think Boogie Back was kind of the start of the really good, but then this is where it gets great. Dragon Ball Super Ending 3 is easily the best ending out of all the early bits. So I guess we're talking, you know, Battle of Gods to early Universe 6. Ending 3 also somewhat has some meaning to it, whereas, you know, most of these others, they're just like, it's kind of subtle, but these definitely make it clear what the message is. Goku and all the other Z fighters getting ready for the unknown above, or they're like looking back, at what they have to accomplish. And then Goku looks back, actually sees behind him and sees all his friends and comrades supporting him, fighting along, maybe even fighting alongside, like how, you know, everyone else is in the front of this, and just gives a thumbs up to show everything will be alright in the end. That's a big thing, because the overall tone at certain points, like Goku's very tense, but then he looks at what he has, and then kind of eases up. And it also plays into the nice slice of life but once again, just showing what these characters' thoughts are like in their personal lives. I really like that. It's a great ending, and the song is fantastic. Next up, we have the top two. We have Ending 10, 70 centimeter window. 70 centimeter window, when I heard it for the first time, I wasn't too big on it. I mean, obviously didn't dislike it. I thought it was solid, but it didn't strike me too much. But then looking back, it is legit one of the best Dragon Ball Super endings, and it was a close battle for this one and number 1. But the reason I have Ending 10 here is, well, actually, I'm gonna go into why the other ending is at number 1. But this one is still great. It also kind of tells a story through Goku's perspective. Obviously, I still feel that Boogie Back had we were really seeing through the eyes of Bulma, whereas we here with Goku, it's almost like a third-person perspective. And he's looking up. We see him as a kid and how he matures as the years go along, how he supported everyone, just looking back at all the memories and all that. I think that's really nice going in, like, as he's progressing through the tournament where he is now, he still has other people in mind and all that, and he just has so much going for him. He can't lose it. He can't lose his tournament because he's going to lose what he's been building up for so many years. These friends, these comrades, bringing people up. And also, visually, this ending is fantastic, man. Just the Kid Goku in the new style is great to see, and the overall like colors, I feel it's shaded really nicely, especially the beginning portion. The beginning portion I think is my favorite portion, my favorite bit of the song. Just, it's great to see Kid Goku again. But next up we have number 1. I think you all predicted this. This is one that's probably going to be interchangeable for people. Usually it's going to be either Ending 10 or Ending what I'm about to list. Ending 9 is my number 1 place, Haruka. When I heard this for the first time, I rewinded and I played it again and again and again. I love this ending so much. While it doesn't have the same narrative that that Boogie Back has, while it doesn't have the stellar visuals like Ending 10 has, this episode, not this episode, this ending just kind of brings out the best in everything and just puts it into one. It shows a lot of the camaraderie between the other universes, universe 6, 2, and 11 respectively, and it also plays back to a wonderful shot of a Dragon Ball, and then Goku's family, essentially, Chi-Chi, Goten, Gohan, Videl, and then we get this really smooth transition of where it goes into Goku's eyes. He's seeing through that, and he has people like that in his mind when fighting through this tournament, and he's very tense about it, like in Ending 3. But then he looks back to see Gohan, and he realizes, oh, this isn't going to be as hard of an obstacle, because like everyone is facing towards the sun, or like this bright light. Now people like Piccolo are smiling, but then you have others like Vegeta who are a bit unsure. So even then, it's this mysterious like power, direction, whatever you want to take it as. Goku realizes he has Gohan. He has all these other people to kind of help him through the way, and they move forward. I know I kind of went into ramble territory there, but I think that was what I interpreted as, and I really liked it. I thought it was a beautiful message, great song. I think the visuals are also very strong. It's definitely one of the better endings from, visually, one of the better endings from modern Dragon Ball. So, that was this long video. I didn't want it to be this long. I kind of just wanted for the 10-minute range, but I guess 17 minutes, it's whatever. But what are you guys' favorite endings for Dragon Ball Super? Like, how would you rank them? Is yours the same as mine? Is yours different? Either way, I want to hear everyone's perspective in the comment section down below. Until next time, Ninja out. Peace everybody, and have a good day.